Assalamu alaikum wa rahmah. Welcome, guys, to this series of the Islamic books edition that I've personally written over the past 4 years or so. So, I had an experience in the IT world and I was a business analyst for almost over 15 years. I've used that experience into writing these Islamic books. The idea, as I mentioned in my other videos, initiated when my own daughters actually felt the need for this content, Islamic content, and specifically Quranic workbooks, which was missing from the market. So today I'm going to take you over and explain to you the roadmap and the series, what this contains, and how this can actually benefit your life and your children's life from a very early age. So let's take a look at this roadmap, and it explains the diversity of the books that you can actually use. So starting off, our core and the books that actually I invested the most amount of time in is the Quran Workbook series. So the actual Quran Workbook series has 4 books in that volume, starting with the key concepts. So it's my first Quran journey. Key concepts is this book right here. So, then at the end, we are going to talk about the whole roadmap, from a holistic angle, and we're going to get that bird's eye view. So the Quranic, workbook journey starts off with my first Quran journey key concepts designed for ages 6+. Now, this talks about the primary concepts mentioned in the Quran that the kids can absorb. The second book in this series talks about it's the surah based, talks about the small surahs in the last part of the Quran, in Juz Amma. All right. And that's actually intended for ages 8+. Now, keep in mind that these ages, there's no rule to it. Even if I'm saying it's 8+, there is a very good chance that a kid who is 5 or 6 in today's era can actually get their hands onto it and start doing it. The third book in that series is actually it's actually surah based, but it's actually stories of the prophets, and they learn a great lesson out of it. And that's intended for ages. That's the recommended age for 10+. Then the last book in this volume is actually talking about the reality of today's teen. It's actually intended for teenagers and how they can use those moral values, ethics, character building from the Quran and implement it in their life. It talks about the social media, and it's actually scenario based. It has those scenario based questions, reflective writing, where they are supposed to think and and imagine if they are in a situation, how they're going to use the Quran to actually guide them on what to do and what not to do. It talks about the social media specifically because that's one of the most common issues that parents are facing. Their teenagers are addicted to social media, and they're actually learning a lot of bad things out of it. This is going to be stopping them for a moment and asking them, allowing them to think what actually they're doing is the right thing and what are the options they can actually choose from. Then we have the simplest summary of the Quran for all. Now, this book is an extension. So, for example, once a kid has actually completed these 4 books, the summary book actually a bulleted list, a structured multi-level list of all the surahs in the Quran. So they can actually keep this. That should be a book that they need to stick to for their life. So it's summaries, it's revision. They might be reading a lot of the translation from the Quran, or the transliteration from the Quran. They might be following different, scholars. They might be, watching different videos. But this book is going to help them quickly go back and see what are the topics mentioned in Surah Baqarah, for example, or what are the rights of orphan mentioned in the Quran. So they can use this book, and it's actually in a note-taking style. Then I would want to talk about 2 other books, which actually comes as a bundle, and they come with the companion flashcards. Number one is, and these are intended for kids 4+ or 3+ in some cases. So the first one is the 100 vocabulary words from the Quran itself. Now we have a flashcards that's on categorized and actually with references on each flashcard on where this word is found in the Quran. So once again, a great activity for kids to actually get their connection strong to the Quran. They can search it and find it on how it's mentioned in that specific verse. And then these flashcards come with a workbook. Now, these workbook actually will help them in their tracing, in their Arabic learning. They'll learn Arabic words, they'll learn the Arabic counting, the English counting, and of course the English writing. So instead of any other book, this should be the first book that your kid should start their learning journey with. Let them trace on these books. And the second one in this flashcard series is the 99 Names of Allah. And as you know, the hadith about the 99 names of Allah is that whoever memorizes these names will enter Jannah. So there are 99 names of Allah flashcards, and then it's accompanied by the 99 names of Allah workbook. And then I have built a specific guide, a homeschooling guide for Muslim parents on how they can structure, because I am homeschooling my daughters, and there are a lot of things that you don't need to spend time on. So, for example, the LMS, the Learning Management System, is actually out there. What I've done is that I have actually created a roadmap on what they need to do until 5th grade. And this, of course, covers other subjects like English, maths, general knowledge, science, and so forth. Then, of course, we have one book, which is the purpose was to help parents. It's my own journey. It's an emotional book. It's called Almost a Single Parent. And it talks about my own struggles on how, after losing my wife back in 2022, I had to step up to take care of my daughters and give them the best I could. So that's an emotional book, and I would suggest you should take a shot at that one as well. And then we have the Sunnah. Living the Sunnah is a book written specifically, keeping in mind that what's happening around us today and how we can implement the Sunnah. A lot of us talk about the Sunnah, but we don't really implement it. And the message that I want to give from that book is that implementing the Sunnah or Sunnah should be a primary treatment or a primary in our life, not secondary. So that's the core of that book. It talks about the mental health, physical health, and so many other things related to health. And we learn a lot from the life of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And this book talks about hijama, the cupping therapy, and so many other, organic stuff, if I must say, that we're missing in everyday life. And if we stick to that diet, I don't think we need any or resources to keep ourselves healthy mentally and physically. Then we have a few storybooks, which are just short stories for kids, that could be used as bedtime stories. So let's take a holistic view on what all we just discussed. So these are the categories we have. We have a category for Quran series, 4 books in that workbook volume, and then we have a tracing workbook, and then we have a complete summary of the Quran. So 6 books in total. It's intended for ages 4 to teens and even adults. Then we have a homeschooling book. It's a guide that can be used on how to follow a structured approach to homeschooling, where while keeping the Islamic values and Islam integrated within it. Then we have a book on parenting. That's my personal story. And then we have flashcards and square books for those parents who are actually interested in, their kids having something hands-on. Some kids actually just love the flashcards and the concept, where they keep flipping and, they learn the meanings and they play with it. And at the same time, they make learning fun. Then we have early childhood workbooks, which include the tracing and the early, learning books, including the 100 vocabulary Quran words and the 99 names of Allah. And that's intended for ages 3 plus. Then we have the Sunnah book, which is Living the Sunnah, intended for teens and adults.
and in some cases, even younger kids could get a hand on it. And then, last but not the least, we have storybooks. These are interesting Islamic storybooks with a moral that can be used as bedtime stories, or that could be, read by parents to their children.
That's pretty much it. And all these books are available, are live on Amazon at the moment, and you can buy it from there. But if you're in PK and want a hard copy, then you can message us through our website or WhatsApp or whatever is convenient, and we will be shipping it to you. So we are actually taking pre-orders for that. Many more books which are in the pipeline, but I would want to hear from you guys. What are the kind of books that you think are missing in the market and you would want to see them? That would help your kids. I would love to, take a shot at that as well. So thank you so much, and stay tuned for such updates. And do let me know on what you liked, which book you liked, and which ones you want me to improve. Jazakumullah khair wa ahsan al jaza.